Oh no.
A18 Beachfront Avenue!
Oh god, where's A18?
Daytona Beach, baby!
Oh no!
Let's get ready for some racing on the beach!
Is that Volusia County?
Hey, I grew up there, man. This is my home turf.
Alright, so look,
I moved to Volusia County in 1980 and I left in 93.
Alright.
That's 13 years I've lived right by Daytona Beach.
So, welcome back to No Onions, No Tomatoes.
Go to the Steak and Shake.
This one right here is filling herself.
That's right, Florida, baby.
Because the race is at Daytona International Speedway.
Across from the mall.
In Volusia County.
That's right.
And, well, it's Daytona, but you grew up in
Deltona.
I didn't know there were different ones, okay, but that's
all right.
Great. All right. Hey, so California people. So this whole deal with Florida, with Daytona Beach, so check this out.
Yeah.
You can drive on the beach.
That's right.
You can drive your car on the beach.
That's right.
Park.
Yes.
Set up an easy up.
Yes.
Barbecue.
Yes.
The whole deal.
Yes.
Nobody cares.
You're not supposed to drink, but Cocoa Beach you can.
Cocoa Beach is on.
Yeah.
New Smyrna, you're not supposed to, but you can still drive there too. That's more Volusia County.
That's right.
Love Florida, man, except for the sharks.
So we went down there in
alligators.
2014 to go to the race, but before we went to the race, we went to the beach, and you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, we're going on the beach, and I just took the car and drove, and he's like, you can't do this in California.
So check this out.
We went swimming.
You're gonna go to a NASCAR race, but before, forget tailgating. We're just gonna drive right over the bridge into to Daytona Beach. Mm-hmm. Drive on it. Get in the water.
We were frolicking.
And then it's like, oh, well, we have to shower before we go to the race.
So you go to the outskirts where there's a little park with some bathrooms and a shower, and you just shower outside.
No, we were the only ones with soap and towels. We're shampooing, and then it's like, okay, we have to change again.
So we go to the Burger King. Change our clothes.
And then we park and tailgate in what? A Hampton Inn.
That's right.
It's right across from the track. When they're coming out of turn 3 and out of turn 4, you could see that Hampton Inn. It's unbelievable.
It's where the Casa Gallardo used to be. It's next door to where it used to be.
Casa Gallardo?
Oh my God. Love that place.
Gracias, por favor.
Anyway, so we're back at Daytona. We were at Daytona once this year already, back in February for the 500 during the day. Now we're doing a night race.
Now we are doing a night race.
Just as a refresher, in case you didn't see our previous episode, this is a 2.5 mile tri-oval with the turns being 31-degree banking. And the back stretch is 18.
Folks, you can't walk up it.
We've been on this track. We've toured it, and we've been there in person to see a race.
This is it. I'm not joking.
It's crazy, and it is not wide.
Get your protractors and see. I'm telling you, I'm correct right here. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, and so we took a tram on the track and toured it, and went down to where the stages for the
Victory Lane.
That's it.
That's the place. That's where the winning car goes. So you go to Victory Lane, right? And then so also with this tour, they have the winning car stays on display at Daytona. Mm-hmm. And you walk right up to it, you take pictures right behind it. And so it's unbelievable. So in 2016 we went there and we saw Denny Hamlin's car. And it was quite a treat. And it's unbelievable. When you guys are watching this race tomorrow or today, if you're watching this today, you're going to be like, oh, look, they're 3 wide, 4 wide. You guys think it's really wide? It's not.
There's no space.
And they're going 200 miles an hour. What's next?
Speaking of Hamlin, Toyota has only won one 500. And it was
Denny Hamlin.
Yeah. I didn't know that. It was just a little nugget.
And the only other Toyota car to win a Daytona ever is who?
Kyle Busch.
2008. At the Coke Zero 400.
Oh, look, it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so who does well here? We can recap last year's 400 to see about the night racing.
Let's do that. So they roll in that they roll in that joint.
Yes.
And so Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who is all of a sudden a restrictor plate king, won his second race of the year last year at the 400. Okay.
And Junior had gotten the pole, and
Right.
everyone thought, oh, he's going to win as he's going retiring.
It's a race.
Yes, and so Keselowski won stage 1, and Kenseth won stage 2. But as you said, Stenhouse wins, and then guess who finishes second?
Darn her.
Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer.
So that's someone that we're watching this year. He did well there last year. And then Menard, McDowell, Newman, Reagan, Brendan Gaughan, get it on, AJ Allmendinger, Eric Jones, and Chris Buescher. Now, what's different about these names?
You never see them any other time.
We usually don't talk about these people.
Any other time, but because it's Daytona.
Because it's Daytona and it's a restrictor plate
Right.
race and a super speedway race, different people finish in the top 10 usually.
So this place ended up being a wreck fest as usual. So
Absolutely.
last year was 14 cautions for 50.
14 cautions.
But here's the lead change. You had 33 lead changes among 16 drivers, which means that literally they are in a pack. What you're going to watch tomorrow is going to be 38 cars in a pack within, from first to last, maybe what? 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Maybe
They're
3
literally
seconds.
this close to each other on the speedway.
Yes.
And you could be in first place in turn 1.
Right.
And by the time you're back around, you're in 20th place.
Absolutely.
The shuffling goes back and forth between the lanes. And then they try to make it 3 wide. And sometimes it goes crazy.
Sure. So let's go to the 500. So we want to give you guys some stats on the 500.
Which was this year in February.
Right. So who's our pole guy?
Alex Bowman was on the pole.
Okay.
And then Kurt Busch won stage 1. And he had won the 500 the year previously.
For sure.
And then stage 2 was Ryan Blaney. He was doing well here. And then the winner ended up being Austin Dillon.
And he got a tattoo on his butt to signify the win.
Okay, I guess he doesn't care we talk about that. It's on his buttocks. Anyway, so Austin Dillon comes in first. Then who came in second?
The biggest story of the race was Darrell Wallace Jr. coming in second in
Way
the
to go,
iconic
Bubba.
43 car.
Yes.
Then we had Denny Hamlin, we had Logano, Buescher, Menard, Blaney, Newman again, McDowell again, and Allmendinger again. So, one thing you guys want to know, this is a race of survival.
You have to survive these
And
wrecks.
sometimes surviving means being in the back where you can slow your car down. Because when you're going, like, have you ever been on a freeway and you're going 75 and it slows down in front of you and you think, I can't slow down, but you do? Imagine going 200 miles an hour and trying to slow down.
And you are bumper to bumper.
Not happening.
Not happening. Sometimes they even wreck forward. That was my favorite wreck of all time.
Oh, the Jeff Gordon
The
wreck.
Jeff Gordon wreck where he's like out in front. We're like, yay, go Jeff, go Jeff. And they wreck forward and somehow
150 yards.
gather him up when he was ahead of the whole thing.
Yeah,
and I just thought, holy cow, that's crazy.
So in the 500 we had 8 caution laps for 37. Eight cautions for 37 laps, 24 lead changes, 14 different drivers. So you're noticing a trend here. Who's good?
Who's good?
Who's good here? Who's good?
Well, let's talk about who won the pole this year.
Whoa.
So on the pole this year is
Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott. So you say, okay, he's on the pole.
Who had the pole at the 500 in February? Wasn't it Alex Bowman?
Yeah,
Where's he starting?
he's starting second.
Yeah.
And so we have some of the normal guys: Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, Harvick, Stenhouse, Newman,
Again.
McDowell,
Yep.
Clint Boyer, and Austin Dillon. Those names aren't always in the top 10 for starts. Now, it's not crucial to have a pole or starting position because of the way the leads change back and forth in Daytona, but it's good for pit selection.
It's
and stuff like
it's
that.
always good for pit selection.
So now when you say who's good, in the last 10 races, who's the best here?
Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin has
What's his
one
name?
win. James, sorry,
James.
dang, you made me say it. He has one win. He has five top 5s, and he has 10. He has 6 top 10s. He's led 190 laps. He only has 2 DNFs in those 10 races. Who else?
Yeah, so this is a big deal, the DNFs here, because like we're saying, you just have to survive. So the other people that are good here are Logano, he has a win. Dillon has a win.
Right.
Kurt Busch has a win. Jimmy Johnson has a win. And Stenhouse has a win in the last 10 races.
Right. And the thing about these guys, the one driver that has the most DNFs in that is going to be Jimmy Johnson. Everybody else is only two or 3. The only driver that has no DNFs in the last 10 races here is Ryan Newman. Newman.
I'm still mad at him for last week.
Look up Leo. Oh yeah, he tried to cost you that win.
That's
So
right.
look out for that guy. But hey, if you're doing fantasy or something like that, look outside the window. Look outside. Get outside the box, bros.
I mean, we constantly tell you that there's 9 drivers that could win every week. This week is different. The whole field is open for winning.
Anybody can win.
Anybody can win, and they do.
Yes.
So what else do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the point standings, right?
Point standings. So after Chicago, was that our last race, Chicago? That's right. So we still have Kyle Busch in the lead, and his lead is 62 points over Kevin Harvick.
Right.
Logano's in 3rd, Truex 4th, Keselowski 5th, Boyer 6th, Kurt Busch 7th, Denny Hamlin 8th, Kyle Larson 9th, and Ryan Blaney 10th. So the other big thing that we look at for points is the playoff points that will continue through the whole playoff round.
Right.
And so Kyle with the win has 30 now, and Kevin Harvick has 27. The next biggest point leader is Truex with 18.
Yeah, for sure. But what I think is bigger is that there's still only 6 winners, and the only driver that is outside the top 16, which the top 16 will make the chase.
Right.
The only one that's out is Austin Dillon with the Daytona win. So we could conceivably have like 9 drivers that didn't win that point their way into the chase.
Point their way in.
So we're going to see, or into the playoffs, so we're going to see how that's going to roll.
And how Austin Dillon, who's not in the top 16, but with the win, and as long as you're in the top 30 points,
yes,
you'll go in.
Yes.
Daytona is a chance for someone else to accomplish that.
Right.
Not being in the top 16, but still win.
Okay.
And still get into the chase. So, little hubbub this week, and I want your...
All right, folks. So ISC, right? So it's these are the guys who own like over half of the speedways here in NASCAR, and they came out with this 10-page second quarterly report. Okay, so it's 10 pages, right? So I'm going to roll this through.
We're going to review it all.
Yeah, and it's giving you all kinds of information. That's what it's doing. But what I really think that it's doing is blaming the new drivers for not winning. ISC, you know what I need you to do? Take some personal responsibility for this, right? Mm-hmm. You guys need to make your venues more attractive for fans to come. I don't know. How about Wi-Fi?
Everybody needs Wi-Fi nowadays, and it's something that could be done, and they're just not doing it.
How about sharing your revenue?
How about saying that, they say attendance is down for NASCAR.
Looking at you.
Attendance is down for NASCAR. Attendance is down for everything.
Everybody's watching things on these things, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's how it goes, right? Make the sport more even. We need to have more parity, but more than anything, make it better. Okay. For people to want to come to it.
All right. It's not the young driver's fault. They drive the equipment they drive.
They'll win when they win.
They'll win when they win.
And it'll probably be tomorrow. Somebody will probably win.
I think so.
And I hope it's Bubba Wallace.
I hope so too.
So we gotta get out of here.
So tune in tomorrow. The flag's at Saturday at 6:19 Central Standard Time.
I got my knife, all I heard was shells falling on the concrete grill.
Gotta go.
In my car, slammed on the gas.